Hello there, my name is Barry and today I'm going to talk about how to get a slash type tone using the Valeton GP200. If this is our first time meeting then hello there, my name is Barry and I play guitar, I play drums, I teach all sorts of things. I've got two little girls and that's me. So if that's the type of thing that you're into and that's your vibe, please subscribe to the channel, like this video and let me know down below what you think. This preset that I'm going to build on the Valeton GP200, I'm going to build it using the desktop app. I'm on a Mac. You can do it on Windows. You think you can also do it on Linux, but I'm doing it on Mac. And I'll make sure that the preset is available in the link in the description to download and use yourself in your own Valeton GP200. For this video, there's literally only one guitar that I have that I can use in good conscience, and it is my 1975 Ibanez Les Paul Custom called Rosie, because she has roses on her. Slash was in Guns N' Roses, he played a Les Paul. This is a Les Paul called Rosie. Without further ado, let's get stuck straight into it. So first of all, we're going to need to turn on an amp. Slash very famously uses Marshall. The one he used most throughout his career was the Silver Jubilee, the Marshall Silver Jubilee, and I don't believe there is a Silver Jubilee built into the Valeton GP200. I'm sure we could find one as a snap tone, but we're not going to use snap tones today. We are literally going to use whatever comes as standard with the Valeton GP200. So we're going to start off with a JCM 800 and a matching 4x12 cab. Is that a 4x12? What does it say? 4x12 cab with greenback speakers. Let's see what that sounds like for starters. It sounds like a Marshall. It sounds like my tone because I use a JCM 800 for absolutely everything. But let's start carving this tone a little bit. Slash was always very minimal when it came to his tone, in my opinion. It was literally just plug into a Marshall, maybe have like a boost in front of the Marshall just to push it a little bit, and that's pretty much it. He does use a rack mounted wah, which we'll have a look at, and he does use a delay also for some of those, like think of Welcome to the Jungle, that's delay and stuff like that. We're not going to worry about that, but like we'll add a little bit of delay for some lead tones. But let's get his standard tone right first. So yeah, I'm happy with that as a good starting off point. So I'm going to maybe give it a little bit of gain. We'll go 69. See, that sounds like worth noting, I don't claim to be able to play like Slash. I don't claim to have the same style as Slash. So do with that information what you want. Don't come for me in the script, in the comments. It's a bit bass heavy, so I'm going to bring it down a smidge. Let's see what that's doing. Okay, so we're sort of getting there. I'm going to push the mids. Slash's tone is really mid heavy, so I'm going to push the mids to like maybe 75. Maybe a bit more bite from the treble just to give it a bit more definition. We're sort of getting there. Okay, so I'm kind of happy enough with that for just now. Yeah, I'm happy with that for just now. I am going to put a noise gate on just to stop that hiss. I don't know if Slash ever used a noise gate, but yeah, I'm going to put the noise gate on. Yeah, it's a very, very subtle gate. Okay, let's put it into a space now. I'm a big fan of a plate reverb, so I'm going to start with that. I don't think Slash is overly known for his reverb. That sounds okay to me. Maybe a little bit too much, so I'm going to turn the train on. Let's bring the mix down to maybe like 17%. Okay. A little trick that Slash uses that not an awful lot of other guitarists will use is that when it comes to like his lead tone, he usually plays in the neck pickup, but he'll roll the tone knob off by like, say, half. I'll show you what that looks like. So on a Les Paul, these two are your volumes. That's the volume for the neck pickup, and that is the volume for the bridge pickup. But Slash, what he does is he rolls the tone off. He rolls the tone off on his neck pickup. So this is what it sounds like up full. So I'm on this neck pickup. And let's roll the tone off all the way. To be fair, that is actually quite slashy, to be fair. Maybe bring it back in. I'm going to roll it to like 3. I'm quite happy with it. So there's a tip. If you want to get closer to Slash's sound, roll your tone off on your neck pickup. Let's get back to carving out the tone. Okay, so I think we've... I think we're sort of getting there. There's a little bit of muddiness that I want to try and filter out. So I'm going to come over here to the cap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the low cut up to like maybe like 90, and then I'm going to bring the high cut back to like, say, 7. Here we go. Let's try that. Okay, we're sort of getting places now. So we've sort of cut out the high end fizz, and maybe bring back in just a little bit of that. It might have been just too severe. Yeah, and we sort of sorted out the low end sort of mud, so that's grand. Now what I want to do is I want to just push the amp ever so slightly. Now I know that Slash tends to use like it's like an MXR CEA boost, I think is what it's called. It's not an overdrive, so we're not going to worry about an overdrive. We are just going to look at a boost. I'm just filtering through here to see what sort of boost we can find. We might just stick with the micro boost, the MXR micro boost, and just see what that does. So this is it without the boost. Okay, and now let's turn on the boost. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't think it needs it. Yeah, I don't think it needs that boost. I really don't think it needs that boost. So I'm going to ignore that, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so we're getting close. I've come over here to the Hyper EQ, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost like 2K maybe, just ever so slightly. Let's see what that does. What I really want is like I want just something to cut through a bit. Okay, so let's turn that on and see what that's done. Okay, so that's working. That's bringing out just that pick attack. I'm going to give it another little boost at around. I'm going to cut 200 a bit. Let's try that. No, that's too much. I think we're getting closer, so let's take out the EQ. Bring back in. by the end of the video, I'll get that lick right. That's close. To me, to my ear, that's way, way close. We kind of comfortably have our rhythm sound, and I'd like to give some sort of something or other for a lead boost. Usually all I would do for a lead boost is I would add an EQ pedal and just pump up the volume. We don't have that option here because we're using the EQ to carve out the tone. So let's see what else we can do to give it a little bit more volume and a little bit of, add in a little bit of delay, and we'll look at a wah sound as well. So let's see what we can do to pump up that volume for the leads. Now, a couple of ways we can go about doing this. We can look at a boost, or we could look at maybe a compressor and just adding some volume using the compressor. I wonder if we could do that. Let's see. Okay, and we want, let's just put on the compressor, see what that does. Doesn't really give us any extra volume, but let's just whack the volume up full. Okay. That's doing very, very little. No, that's doing very little. Okay, so we don't want that. Right, so I found this compressor. Let's see if we can just... Okay, so compressor I don't think is the way to go. What about the AC boost? So we don't really want to give it too much more gain. So we'll take the gain out. But I wonder if we could give it a volume boost. That is definitely louder. Is it? Bit of treble? Nah, that's not how we do it. Aha! Right, so I was sort of messing around in the background there, and what I've come up with is I'm going to toggle the volume on and off for the lead. For the rhythm sound, we're going to have the volume pedal on, and that we're going to have it on 50% volume, and then when we toggle to lead, we're going to toggle the volume off, which is going to bring it back up to a more acceptable lead tone. I'm quite happy with that. So on for rhythm and then off for lead. And then for lead, we're also going to put on some delay. We're just going to put on a very standard analog delay around 300 milliseconds there. Let's try that. Let's put it on. Let's try that. It's a bit too much. I don't necessarily associate Slash with delay other than the Welcome to the Jungle bit. Okay, we're going to put it in. Slash is very much an 80s style guitar player. In the 80s, delay on the leads, that was huge. So we're going to leave it in, and so be it. Let's have a look at a wah pedal now. And I think S-wah, no, P-wah, John Petrucci. Oh, I wonder do we have... So Slash very famously used Crybaby. So unless we can find... No, we're going to go for just a Crybaby wah. And Slash used the uses the rack mount wah, so he can like adjust all these settings. So let's just see what that sounds like. Okay, so we've got the wah turned on, and it's obviously messing with the position, but let's hear. So there's not enough of a range there. I'm going to boost the range up. Yeah. I wonder what the Q does. Let's just adjust the Q. I think that just gives it more basically. happy with that. Okay, so I think we're quite happy with that. So let's just adjust the patch parameters. And I'm going to set control 1 to turn on the delay and to toggle the delay and the volume. So let's just turn that on. So we now have our lead tone on. There we have our slash tone. So the way that it works is that we have that is our rhythm tone. So for the main rhythm tone, I've disengaged the use of the expression pedal for volume, and I've turned on the volume pedal so that it's approximately half the volume of the lead tone. When you push control 1, that engages it disengages the volume, so it brings it back up to full, and it also engages that analog delay. And then all you do is press very hard, you may have to stand up, to activate to engage that wah pedal. So there you have it. As I said, that patch is going to be available to download in the link in the description. I'll also leave a link to where you can get your very own Valeton GP200 if you don't have one already. And while you're down there, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know in the comments, was I anywhere near Slash's tone? What could I have done differently? And just let me know what you thought and who I should try and sound like next. I'll see you in the next one.